What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. Now, this isn't really going to be that long of an episode. Don't expect anything too long. But basically, I just want to do this episode so that I can talk about a piece of news that was really big that came out during my time that I wasn't doing the podcast. So I'm just letting it be known now. If you're not a fan of Power, this episode is not for you. But this episode is going to be all about the news that we got recently. First, of the Tariq and Tommy spinoff, Power Legacy. Also, the other piece of news that we got about season 3 of Force, the teaser trailer. I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on that and some of my early predictions. And then also, I'm going to be touching on some things that the CEO of Stars or somebody at Stars was basically talking about. There's going to be 3 new spinoffs for Power, which we already know Origins. Now we know Power Legacy, which, I mean, it's been rumored for a while, but now it's actually been confirmed. And we also have another spinoff that has yet to be announced. So I'm going to be giving my guesses on what that spinoff could be. So pretty much, like I said, not really too long of an episode, but I do just want to touch on this stuff because y'all know that I love Power. And it's a universe that, to be honest, if I'm going to be all the way honest, I do feel like we should start wrapping the Power universe up. But at the same time, I love this show. I love the universe. So I'm always going to keep watching no matter how long it lasts. It could probably last until like I'm 67 or something. And I will still keep watching. Like, I love the Power universe. But yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is, like I said, this brand new Ghost and Tommy, Tariq and Tommy spinoff, Power Legacy. Now, like I said, this one's been rumored for a while now. I forget when I started hearing the rumors, but pretty much like I think around the season 3 mark of book 2 Ghost, that's pretty much when I've been hearing these rumors about Tommy and Tariq linking up and getting the TV show. Or I actually I remember the big talk around that time was a crossover episode between Ghost and Force. And then around season 2 of Force and season 4 of Ghost, they came out around the same time or like pretty close to each other. But around that time, that's when we started getting talks of a possible spinoff between both shows. And to be honest, see, I was talking about this with my friend Corey. To be honest, do I really want to see a Tommy and Tariq show? If I'm going to be all the way for real, not really. I wanted to see more of a crossover episode between both shows because I felt like that would have been like a great opportunity. But like to see a whole show, I'm gonna be honest, that's not something I was really asking for. I'm, a little bit excited because of the possibilities with how they ended book 2. And of course, we don't know how book 4 is going to end yet. But like the way that, book 2 ended and then what it looks like book 4 is going to end, maybe it could be something exciting and something I can look forward to. But to be honest, just the early thought of it, no, not really. I wasn't really looking forward to it because the way book 2 ended, it just kind of felt like a happy ending for Tariq. I know some people will say like some things that happened at the ending wasn't really a happy ending, but to be honest, Tariq got exactly what he wanted. He basically became the new Ghost, and whether I feel like that was deserved or not, which if you want to know more of my thoughts on that, go check out my old book 2 episode where I reviewed the whole series. But basically, like, I didn't feel like Tariq earned that spot, but whether I felt like he deserved it or not, like, basically that he got his happy ending. And then with book 4, I know that they were always teasing that Tommy would get another chapter or something like that, but like, I don't know. It is kind of crazy to believe that Tommy is still around. Like, I love Tommy. Like, I love his character. And honestly, the day that Tommy dies, because let's keep it real, I don't think Tommy is going to have any other ending besides death. The day that Tommy goes away is going to be a sad episode, not even just for whatever show it's a part of, but basically just the whole Power universe. Like, if you really think about it, Tommy is like one of the real last OGs still around in the Power universe. I mean, Tariq is technically counted as an OG because he was from the original show, but I mean, like, from episode one of the original Power to still be doing it, when Tommy goes, that is going to be a very sad day for, I think, the whole community. Anybody that ever watched an episode of Power, even if you don't keep up with the show now, if you just knew his character from the original show, that is going to be a sad day for you. But like I was saying, I wasn't really like too excited at the idea of it, but like I guess as time gets closer, like I can see potential in this being good, especially if the other rumor is true that they're gonna bring it to a new city. I do kind of want to see Power go to a new area, just because we kind of explored New York a lot. We gotten a lot of New York, like in book one or the original Power. Basically, New York was almost like its own character. Book two, we were still in New York. Book three, even though that's a prequel, we're still in New York. And then we got Power Origins coming up soon, which is basically still in New York. So Force is really the only one that stepped out of the comfort zone of the Power universe. Like that one takes place in Chicago, which I feel like that was a great setting to move Power to, because we know how Chicago gets down. So to see that Power energy brought into Chicago is definitely something cool. Um, I want to see Power move to like a new area. Basically, the rumor is that they're supposed to go to California, which we know California is crazy. And what are the two main states that everybody thinks about when you think of America? Like a lot of people be thinking about New York and California. So it would kind of make sense. And then also they were kind of teasing Tommy to go to California at the end of the original Power. And, you know, they've been, like I said, they've been teasing that Tommy's going to get another chapter after Force. So it just kind of makes sense that now that Tariq is at the top of his game, and now that Tommy, we're still in the guessing phase of season 4, but the fact that he had to call Tariq for help, the fact that it seems like Tommy might get ran out of Chicago, it just kind of makes sense that they would set up shop in a brand new state and they will work together. And I do see potential in the fact that Tommy is probably the mentor that Tariq needs the most right now. Even though Tariq is that guy in New York, he still has a lot to learn, and that's part of the reason why I feel like he didn't deserve the happy ending that he got at the end of book 2. But Tariq still needs to get his hands up. He's smart and he's good with a gun, but like he still needs to get his hands up. And there's things about Ghost that Tariq still doesn't fully understand, and I feel like he's not going to really understand those aspects of Ghost until he, you know, links up with Tommy, because, you know, Tariq got Ghost story from Kanan, Tariq got Ghost story from Tasha, but nobody has been around and, you know, been into as much stuff with Ghost as Tommy did. And it's crazy to say, because even with Tasha, like Tasha was Ghost's whole wife, but like Tommy's been around Ghost since the very start, which I feel like Origins, that's another reason I feel like, you know, this spinoff could work very well with Tariq and Tommy, is because while we see Tariq working with Tommy and being mentored by him, we'll also see Power Origins, where we'll really see like how Ghost and Tommy really came up. And it's going to be interesting seeing Tommy be like, hey, I know you heard this about your pops, but this is how things really went down. This is what me and him got into. There's things you don't understand, while we'll also be watching those events happen in real time. So like, it's almost like we can enjoy the Tommy and Tariq show, but we're also going to be seeing those events happen in real time. So that's another thing that I'm really looking forward to with this spinoff. So like I said, it's not something that I was initially excited for, but it is something that I get excited for the more that I think about it. The other thing that makes me excited with this spinoff is potentially bringing in older characters and basically having that crossover feel between both shows, because the way that book 2 ended, I guess I might as well give my predictions on who's gonna be in this new spinoff, and I'll give some early predictions for season 3 of Force. As far as the cast, I feel like they're gonna make it very equal between both series. I feel like with Tariq's side, since we already know the ending of book 2, with Tariq's side, I definitely see Brayden coming back, which he gotta come back. That's Tariq's number one soldier. Brayden gotta come back. I do think there's a chance that Effie will come back, and I guess some people would count Two Bit as Tommy's side, but truth be told, he showed up in book two, but never showed up in book four. So I do think there's room for Two Bit to join the party, as far as getting in this series. And I guess the only other person possible is Davis. Like, so besides Tariq, those are the people that I feel like are going to come along with him. Those are the four people. If I had to make a four-person prediction for Force, um, I think, of course, we're gonna have Tommy. So like Tommy and Tariq don't count in these. I'm gonna bring, like I said, those four people from book two, the four people from book four that I think might carry on. I think that Diamond or Jannard, I can't see both of them making it to the next spinoff. I feel like either Diamond or Jannard is going to join Tommy and wherever he goes. Mireya, which, Tommy's new love interest, which I think it's a big point that they've been raising in book four, that basically every love interest that Tommy has ever had always dies off. But I feel like they're making it a big point because they're going to try to break, basically break the norm. I do think Mireya is going to continue with Tommy and wherever they go in this next spinoff. Is she going to survive the next spinoff? I can't answer that. But as far as Force, I definitely think she is going to wind up going with Tommy. So, like I said, either Diamond or Jannard, either or Mireya is a lock for me. DMAC, which I think there's a lot of potential in having DMAC, meet up with Tommy. I mean, meet up with Tariq and Braden. I do think that's like an untapped trio that we just haven't gotten yet. And I do think it's also going to be kind of cool to see, like, technically two of Tommy's nephews basically working together. And also Tariq is more experienced, and it's crazy to say that Tariq is more experienced, but like, well, then again, D-Mac's been in the streets his whole life. So like, there's going to be somewhat of a beneficial thing for both of them. Tariq is more in power, and I'm not saying that as a pun. Like, Tariq just has more power. Like, he basically controls New York. So in a way, I guess he can teach DMAC how to be more smart, be more calculated with his moves. And DMAC can offer Tariq some things as far as like fighting, muscle. Like, basically, he can help Tariq get his weight up. So it's a mutual benefit. Hopefully DMAC don't get killed off, because honestly, I know a lot of people hate DMAC, but I actually like him. So I do want to see him continue into this next series, and I can see Tommy at least keeping him alive. And then I guess the last person I can see probably coming along. This is tough because I feel like a lot of characters in Force is either gonna die this season, or either they're just gonna like continue back in Chicago. Ain't no way Vic is, in my opinion, I don't think Vic is going to survive this final season. If he does survive this final season, he's definitely not going with Tommy. Um Honestly, as sad as it is, I do think Tommy's mom, I do think Kate is going to die, because just like what I was saying, Mireya, like how they're putting a big focus on how all of Tommy's love interests basically die, and like, they're trying to break the norm. I do think Kate is unfortunately going to die, because in this last season they really been building up a story of her trying to become a better person. And it's been a while since I watched season 2 of Force, so I forget if she does fall back into using drugs at the end. But like, I really do think that this time, if she does not get caught in the crossfire of Tommy's wars, I do think she is definitely gonna, overdose or something like that. I don't think Kate is gonna make it out, which is very unfortunate because I love Kate's character, but yeah, I don't think she's really gonna make it. Um, yeah, book four really doesn't have a lot of characters I can really see making it. I really can't see. Um, I guess wild card that Diamond and Jannard both survive, or maybe Tommy's brother. I forget Tommy's brother's name, but maybe he's the other person that's going to come along and survive, because I don't think they're going to kill off everybody in Tommy's family. So I guess Kate is going to be the one in his family to die, and then DMAC and Tommy's brother can basically come along with him to wherever he goes. But yeah. Um So that's my prediction as far as like the cast. But then again, maybe they might not bring over that many people from both shows because there might be room for them to bring newer characters. But then again, Power is the type of show where like they'll have the main characters. There's a bunch of people that will play parts in the main cast. So like I'm sitting here naming these people, but they'll probably add like so many other people to round out the cast. So you never know. But yeah, that's all I got to say as far as legacy. We really don't know anything. We don't know the locations or anything like that. So this is really just me just kind of guessing where things will go and just kind of saying where I hope things will go. But yeah, so the main thing is, Tommy and Tariq spinoff. I want to see the location. I want to see Tommy mentor Tariq. And I want this to be the end of both their stories. Like I said, I can't see Tommy surviving. I feel like Tommy has done so much in the Power universe to the point where I really don't see how he could survive. Plus, at the end of the original Power, remember they teased Elisa Marie coming back to get revenge on Proctor. I mean, get revenge on Tommy for what he did to Proctor. And obviously Tariq helped Tommy in that, so there's another point there. Which, by the way, if y'all bring Elisa Marie back, and if she really does try to get revenge on Tommy, please don't just kill her off like that. Like don't let it be like Junior at the beginning of book 4. I mean, at the beginning of season 4 of book 2. Don't let it just be like that. Like, oh, I'm coming to get revenge, and then they just knock her off like that. If Elisa Marie is going to die trying to get revenge on Tommy, I want her to get some type of win. Like, have her go out while also Tommy goes out, or, something like that. Like, don't just have her come in and just lose automatically. Like, I want to see her get some type of win because, honestly, what happened to her was very tragic. So we got to get some type of win. And we also got to show that these characters are not superheroes. That's the one thing I will give the last season of book 4. Like, Tommy got shot. I mean, granted, right after getting shot, he's over here flirting, but like, show that these characters are not superheroes. Show that these are real people pretty much in a dangerous game. So that's one thing that I hope they acknowledge. But yeah, that's it as far as Power Legacy. Let me know what y'all feel. Let me know y'all guesses, whether you agree or disagree with any of my takes. Let me know down below. Next, I also want to touch on basically book 4, which I guess in a way I already kind of guessed because we didn't even get a full trailer just yet. So like I guess I already kind of put my predictions out there on who I feel like is gonna live, die, or stay in Chicago. But like, I guess the only other thing that I didn't say as far as my predictions is I really need to watch I gotta catch up on book 4 again because I don't even remember Vic's sister. Oh, Claudia. Yeah, I don't think Claudia is really dead. They kind of just left it up in the air, so I guess we'll see. But like, I do think she is gonna have one final, battle with Tommy. But I don't think she's gonna survive this season. I don't know. I just see I just see this final season of book 4 being a complete bloodbath. So like, yeah, those people that I named earlier, Tommy, Mireya, uh one of the brothers like Diamond or Jannard, and Tommy's brother, like I really think those are the only characters that are going to survive by the end of the series. And D-Mac is still up in the air because he's going through so much. Something would have to happen to D-Mac. Even if he don't die, and I know they shot him in season 1, so I don't know if they're going to do that type of storyline again, but like, something's got to happen with D-Mac because he's done too much to just not go touched at all. So yeah. And then the last thing I guess I want to talk about is what is the third potential spinoff that could be developed. So pretty much it was a while back, like a few months ago, where I think the CEO of Stars was basically talking about like another spinoff of Power. And there's been plenty of rumored spinoffs. Like there's been rumored like London spinoffs. After the ending of book 2, like some people were saying that Kane deserves a spinoff, which I am one of those people. I do think Kane deserves a spinoff. But then also there's also more of a political angle that people want to explore, because at one point we were supposed to get a Rashad Tate spinoff, and that was supposed to be more of a political drama show instead of like a crime drama show like we've been getting with the Power universe. So what do I feel like is going to be the next spinoff besides these two? Truth be told, I feel like it makes the most sense for Kane to have a spinoff because, like I said, at the end of Ghost, Kane deserved the title of Ghost more than Tariq did, in my opinion. Like I said, if you want to know my full thoughts on that, go check out the other episode. But yeah, nah, Kane really was that guy in the streets. And as we know, at the end of book two, he ran off to Atlanta, or he said he was going to run off to Atlanta to meet with the rest of the Tejadas families. And basically, yeah, like I really do think that would be an interesting spinoff, which that also kind of adds on to what I was saying earlier, to where I feel like we need new cities and new environments in the Power universe. So like Kane going off to Atlanta and basically like restarting all the way in there, which that would be a really cool spinoff, because like think of all the Atlanta rappers that you could touch on, like the culture in Atlanta. Like I feel like that would be a really great environment. And then also it kind of makes sense on a production level. It kind of makes sense because I don't really like the dude, but Tyler Perry has a studio in Atlanta. And recently 50 Cent was seen taking pictures with Tyler, and they were teasing that they were working on something. So it would kind of make sense for Kane to go to Atlanta and they can film most of that stuff in and around Tyler Perry's studio, and maybe that's what they're working on. I don't like the dude, but you know, businessman. So yeah, I do think Kane spinoff would make the most sense. Personally, me, the thing that I would want to see the most, I mean, okay, this is tied with Kane's spinoff, but like the one I would personally want to see the most is, even if it's not the Rashad Tate spinoff, um, you know, just something in the political world, because that's the one thing with Power. They do also like to touch heavily on how the business world can just be as ruthless as the street. Even though you're not killing people, you screw people over a lot. And that's one thing that was that was a running theme throughout the original Power. And that's honestly one reason why I wanted to see the Rashad Tate spinoff, because, you know, no murder is involved, but he still can, like, he can still get dirty, like, and grimy. Like that's the one thing I liked about Rashad Tate's character. Like even though he wasn't in the streets, he definitely moved like a street dude, to the point where I remember there was theories where people were saying that he used to be a gangster, but I'm like, I knew he wasn't one, but like he still was an interesting character for the political world. So like I would love to see a spinoff like that. My friend Corey, he even said that he would love to see a Davis McLean spinoff, basically just following, you know, his past, like with him, or not specifically, this isn't is specifically what he said, but like I can see the potential in that, because either they could do like a prequel following him and his brother, that, you know, when they used to be in the drug game, or either they could follow him now, basically helping his clients, and basically like him getting tangled up with clients and stuff like that. So like I don't know. That's the one thing. If they do make another spinoff, I really do want to see more potential out of out of this universe, because for right now, all we've been getting is drug dealer stories, and sometimes they kind of just repeat over and over. Like if you watch the Power universe, there's a lot of repeating themes, because at the end of the day, how much stories can you really tell with just drug dealers? So that's why I feel like they need to expand the universe a little bit and try to touch on like different aspects, like the political world. Because at the end of the day, Power's theme is basically just talking about like basically power, like how somebody can take it, how somebody can lose it, the things that people do in order to gain power. And that's not just something that can be represented in the streets. It can be represented in a lot of different ways. So personally, even though a Kane spinoff would sound really good, and especially since Woody McClain is a great actor and I would love to see him lead a Power series, despite it sounding very cool, I do want to see Power's universe expand in different ways. Because if you guys want to keep this universe going, we got to start doing new things to spice this up. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say for today's episode. Um, if you guys are sub to me and you've never seen any of the Power shows, definitely check them out. If you guys are fans of Power, let me know down below what y'all think. Do you like the ideas that I was throwing out here? What are some predictions that you have for season 4 of Force, or even for Power Legacy? Like, let me know down below. And yeah, with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out. Catch y'all on the next one.